4 high schools, 7 middle schools, 1 college, and a university, and much more. Now introducing your most comprehensive weekly local sports show in Madison County, the Richmond Register Sports Show. The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Here's your host for all things local sports, the Richmond Register Sports Editor, Nathan Hutchinson.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. My name is Nathan Hutchinson. I'm the sports editor of the Richmond Register, and we very much appreciate you checking us out this week. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be joined by the Madison Southern Lady Eagles basketball team. Coach Josh Curtis, Morgan Flannery, Macie Daniels, and Hadley French will all be here to tell us about their preparations heading into the 44th District Tournament this week. The Lady Eagles are the defending champs and looking to do something that's never been done in school history. The Lady Eagles have never won back-to-back district championships, so that'll be their goal heading into McBrayer Arena this week. Of course, that will not be easy. The 44th District Tournament does get underway Monday, and it'll be Madison Southern versus Model. 6:30 for the girls, 8:15 for the boys. On Tuesday night, it'll be Madison Central versus Berea Community. Same thing, 6:30 for the girls, 8:15 for the boys. And the championship games are scheduled for Thursday night. Once again, same time, 6:30 and about 8:15. Should be a lot of fun, especially the girls tournament. 4 amazing teams. Those 4 teams have a combined 75 wins on the season, so Madison Southern will have its hands full trying to repeat as district champions, and really all 4 of those teams have the potential to win the district, so it should be a great time over at McBrayer Arena this week. But as we always do, we like to start off the show with a recap of the week that was in Madison County sports, and it was the final week of the regular season of high school basketball. And we will start off with the Madison Central Indians. They had 3 games this week, and a lot of very interesting stuff happened for the Indians this week. On Monday, a 55-50 win on the road over South Laurel. And on Tuesday, an 83-52 win at home over Bourbon County. And then on Friday, a 63-49 loss to one of the top teams in the state at home, Covington Catholic. We will start on Monday with the game at South Laurel. The Indians trailed at halftime, but it was Will Harden with 19 points, 10 rebounds, and Robbie Todd and Jalen Davis with 13 points each as the Indians rallied to pick up a win in a tough place to win down there in South Laurel. Now, the big story of the week, though, Tuesday night over at Madison Central, it was Jalen Davis with a school record 10 three-pointers, 35 points. He beat out the school record of 9 three-pointers, which was set by current Madison Central principal Brandon Fritz. And after the game, we had a chance to talk to both Jalen Davis and Brandon Fritz. All right, we're here at Madison Central High School where the Indians have picked up an 83-52 win over Bourbon County. But the big story of the night, this man right here, Jalen Davis, scored his 1,000th point and then went on to hit a new school record 10 three-pointers. Congratulations, Jim.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You only needed 4 points for 1,000, but you just kind of got rolling there.
Yeah, I had to try to show it a little bit.
You got the first 3 gave you the record?
Yeah. So it was good, trying to beat Principal Fritz, you know what I'm saying? We saw this all the time. I didn't know I beat it, actually, but I just kept shooting. But now it feels good to know I beat it. Yeah, that's we're going to go there. And that was Brandon Fritz, the principal here at Madison Central. You broke his record, and here he is to congratulate you. You had 9 back in, 1993?
I think it was 98 before Christmas.
So. See, I'm making you older than you are.
Yeah, 98.
What were you thinking up there when you seen him?
Well, I knew he was hot, and I told Chris Minner standing sitting beside me. I said he feels the same way I did in '98. He could have kicked one in tonight. So it was hot. We've actually had this conversation before, and I told him, I said, beat my record. And he's got a great stroke on him, works hard. So we're just happy that he did it, and we did it at home, and I got to see it. So we're very happy for Jalen tonight.
It was 10 of 14. You said you were 9 of 11, though, right?
Yeah.
You got a better percentage.
Yeah, he beat me on that one. He got me on that one.
So he's still holding on to some degree of the record.
Yeah, he got that
one. But and you guys as a team are just so unselfish. You had a couple of other open looks there at the end. You passed the ball up.
Yeah.
You weren't really trying to pad the stats or anything.
Well, the main person I don't think is Trey. Trey, he had like 9 assists. I was trying to get him one more, but he's really the main reason I get all my shots, and everybody too. So he's really the true point guard.
Yeah, a lot of people have been counting down to 1,000 for you for a while.
Yes, sir.
Good to get that off your
yes,
back
sir,
there.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. Yes, sir.
right, well, congratulations. Sorry, Fritz. Sorry.
It happens. I'm happy he got it. Happy he got it.
All right, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
It was a very, very cool moment here in Richmond on Tuesday, and very glad that the principal, Brandon Fritz, got to share in that experience. And obviously, he had a lot of. He was very happy for Jalen to break that record. So it was a very cool thing to see on Tuesday. On Friday night, it was 63-49 loss to Covington Catholic. But really, the story on that day wasn't so much the outcome of that game. But earlier in the day on Friday, we found out that Will Harden had been named the 11th Region KABC Player of the Year. And he would also automatically go on to be a candidate for Mr. Basketball. So he had 20 points in the loss to Covington Catholic. And afterwards, we got a chance to talk to him about being the 11th Region Player of the Year. All right, we're here at Madison Central High School with the 11th Region Player of the Year, Mr. Will Harden. Congratulations on the award, Will.
Thank you. It feels good to win the award. I really didn't see it coming. I didn't even think about it until Lexington Catholic's coach told me after we beat them. He's like, I voted for you. And I was like, thank you. And then I was like, all right, well, I might have a chance to win it. You know, I ended up winning at Salt this morning.
Yeah, I came out this morning. Where were you? How'd you hear about it? And what was your reaction?
I was just sitting in second period, saw it on Twitter. And I was like, well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and of course that makes you now a candidate for Mr. Basketball, so that's got to be an unbelievable feeling, huh?
Yeah, pretty good. I never thought that would happen, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, the coaches down there just a minute ago were just telling me when you're younger you had some problem with your feet and you were kind of flat-footed and they weren't sure how well you could move, but you certainly overcome those obstacles. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had surgery in 5th grade on both my feet. They lengthened my Achilles on both feet, or both legs, and then they put like a plate in my foot to arch my feet. And in middle school, I wasn't very quick, and I was a lot bigger than I was. I think I weighed the same as I do now. So I've kept the same weight and grown into it and turned it into better weight too, and got quicker.
Yeah, obviously don't show any ill effects from that all these years later.
No, I feel fine. That never bothers me from it, so I'm all good.
Yeah. Well, tonight, lost to Covington Catholic here. You had 20 points, and it's the second time you guys have played them. It's a tough matchup, but a little bit closer than the last time.
Yeah, I mean, we played them better. We just in the third quarter, we didn't finish well, and they pulled away from us, and they just kind of extended that a little bit in the fourth quarter. We weren't able to close it back, but they're a good team. They're somebody who made a state tournament and should have a chance to win it.
Yeah, we're back in action against Berea in the 44th district tournament, and obviously you guys will be the heavy favorites, but I know you guys don't take anybody for granted. You respect all your opponents. So have you kind of looked ahead to Berea yet?
We haven't. We got tomorrow off, and we'll come in Sunday, and we're actually practicing at Eastern, so we'll get in and we'll start working on Berea then, and probably watch film too.
Congratulations again, man. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, congratulations to Will Harden. He's having a terrific senior year, 19.8 points a game, 9.4 rebounds a game, and he certainly is a very, very, very strong candidate to win the Kentucky Mr. Basketball Award this year. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I voted for him, so my vote is already in. So Madison Southern Eagles had 3 games this week. On Tuesday, picked up a 76-62 win at home over Franklin County. On Wednesday, suffered a 69-61 loss to a top 25 team at home, that's Evangel Christian. And then on Friday, over at Berea Arena, had to kind of grind out a 63-56 win over Bourbon County. We'll talk about the Franklin County game first. It was Jay Rose with 35 points on 10 of 14 shooting. Brett Arslan had 12 points. And Braden Hudson with 11 points as well. The game against Evangel Christian is a team that is considered one of the top teams in the state. Southern was down by 28 points and actually got back within 4 points with a great second half rally, but wasn't able to pull off the upset. It was Jay Rose, 24 points and 4 rebounds. Braden Hudson, 16 points and 7 rebounds. And then the game Friday night at Berea Arena, probably the most important thing to tell you about from that game was that Zach Hudson was back on the court after missing most of the season with a wrist injury. He did come back. It was Jay Rose with 29 points, Nate Turner with 10 points and 10 rebounds. And Madison Southern will take on Model on Monday night over at the 44th District Tournament at Berea Arena. Speaking of Model, they had 3 games this week. The Patriots picked up a 43-42 win on the road Tuesday over Nicholas County, then suffered a 77-59 loss Thursday at home on senior night, and then suffered a 69-64 loss Friday at home to Paris. Cale Vickers with 20 points, Thomas Luxon with 10 points in the win over Nicholas County. In the loss to Bluegrass United, it was Cale Vickers with 21 points, Thomas Luxon with 14 points, and in the loss to Paris, it was Cale Vickers 17 points, and Thomas Luxon and Daniel Crockett Dylan Crockett with 14 points each. 6-22 on the season for Model. Model and Madison Southern did play each other just a couple of weeks ago, and it was Madison Southern picking up an 83-43 win down in Berea. You may remember that was the game that Jay Rose had a school record 48 points. So Madison Southern at 18-11 versus Model 6-22 Monday night at McBrayer Arena. The Berea Community Pirates wrapped up their regular season with 3 games last week. On Monday it was an 85-51 loss at Hazard. Then on Wednesday it was a 61-57 win at home over Buckhorn. And then on Friday it was a 56-54 loss at Owsley County. They go to 6-20 on the season, and of course they'll take on Madison Central on a Tuesday night in the opening round of the 44th District Tournament. In the loss to Hazard, it was Trenton Wilson with 22 points and Cameron Puckett with 12 points. Against Buckhorn, it was Cameron Puckett with 16 points, Trenton Wilson 14 points. And in the loss to Owsley County, Berea was actually up 15 points with about 3 minutes left in that game, but the home team came storming back to pick up the victory and won it on a buzzer beater at right before the end of the game. Trenton Wilson 15 points and Quentin Morgan with 14 points for the Pirates. On to the girls' side of high school basketball, and the Berea Community Lady Pirates closed out the regular season with a very tough schedule last week. 3 straight games on 3 straight nights against 3 straight 11th region opponents. Monday, 46-43 win at home over Lex Cath. Tuesday, 41-39 win at home over Henry Clay. And then Wednesday, a 43-38 win at Bryan Station. In the win over Lexington Catholic, it was Alexis Newman with 14 points and Chesney Levens with 11 points. In the game against Henry Clay, Alexis Newman hit a pair of free throws right before in the final seconds to secure the win. It was Maddie Stepp with 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, and Chesney Levens with 11 points and 7 rebounds. And after the game, our friend Ricky Elkins got a chance to talk to Coach Damian Stepp.
Yeah, I mean, Henry Clay's been one of the better teams in the region all year. They've certainly come a great way since the beginning of the season. It's a really good basketball team right there. And so for them to come in here tonight and then us to kind of step up and be able to compete, we've been dealing with some woes. Had a couple of injuries. Lost Madison House with an knee injury a few weeks ago. And then Isis Rogers on an ankle sprain for a couple games, and we just got guys different pieces in different places, and we even put in a new offense trying to accommodate some of the challenges of not having certain guys in there. And so we definitely didn't plan to take it down to the wire. We'd like to win it more convincingly, but we're kind of at that point. We're taking any way we can get them right now. So.
What was your thoughts on the when she went to the free throw line?
Well, so we did run a set play, and the play was designed for a flare out away from the basket, but sometimes players go where the open look is, and so when Alexis got the basketball there, we got the ball, we kind of ended up like a mid-range shot, which is kind of not what she does, but kind of a mid-range shot right there, and so she went up, they got her on the arm, and she steps up and hits 2 big free throws. She's been a really good consistent free throw shooter for us all year, Alexis Newman. Maddie Stepp hit some free throws down the stretch as well. Had some guys come up with some huge defensive plays. We threw a little diamond press there. That's something we don't really run much. We threw that in to get the ball back there toward the end of regulation, and managed. Sometimes being lucky is better than being real good, and I think that we were probably a little more lucky we were good tonight. But hats off to Henry Clay. They played.
On Wednesday against Bryan Station, it was Maddie Stepp with 11 points, Alexis Newman with 10 points, 10 points and 9 rebounds, and the Lady Pirates will carry a 3-game winning streak into the postseason. The Madison Central Lady Indians will carry a 4-game winning streak into the postseason as they picked up 2 road wins this past week. Thursday it was 59-55 at Dunbar, and then on Saturday it was a 69-67 come-from-behind win over East Jessamine in Nicholasville. The game Saturday was pretty incredible. Central down 17 points in the second half. They scored 33 points in the fourth quarter to rally for the victory. It was a Bailey Hensley, 21 points, 12 rebounds. Brittany Campbell with 12 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And the Lady Indians have won 6 of their past 7, and they're now 12-12 on the season. Sets up another great matchup in the first round. Berea Community at 23-6, Madison Central at 12-12. These two teams opened the season against each other on November 30th, with Berea picking up a 55-51 win in Richmond, and one of these teams will go home with their final game of the season on Tuesday night, so it should be a lot of fun. Moving on to Model Girls Basketball. They split a pair of games this week, had a 60-51 loss at Wolfe County, and then on Thursday on senior night at McBrayer Arena picked up a 50-40 win over Bluegrass United. In the loss to Wolfe County, the Lady Patriots did not have Keaton Hall. She was still sitting out after banging up her knee a couple of weeks ago. So it was Taylor LeCompte with 24 points and 12 rebounds, Megan Perkins 11 points, Kenzie Ferguson with 10 points. Hall was back for senior night, and she had 18 points. Kenzie Ferguson had 13 points. E.K. Lawson with 10 points, and Taylor LeCompte with 9 points and 14 rebounds as the Patriots moved to 21-8 on the season, just extending their school record for wins. And after the game, we had a chance to talk to Keaton Hall and Taylor LeCompte.
Hi, we're here at EKU's Alumni Coliseum where the Model Lady Patriots have picked up a 50-40 win over Bluegrass United on a very unusual senior night. It's supposed to be over at Model, but we had some issues, came over here and finished the game over here at EKU. But a 21st victory of the year, extending your school record, so congratulations, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keaton, it was got a little tight there for a while. They got it back to, I think, 6 points at one time, so
yeah,
it was a little bit of a battle tonight.
Yeah, we lost the lead a little bit. We weren't hitting our shots. We were trying to play too fast. You know, it happens. We got a little tired. But we kind of slowed it down and started getting back in our rhythm, and, you know, we weren't going to let them win on our senior night, so.
Yeah, that's right. Even though you guys obviously didn't get to play your last home game at home, but that's obviously great preparation for the district, though, next week over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Taylor, so that's good.
Yeah.
You guys have played here over the years. So.
Yeah. It's kind of like home a little bit. I mean, we've played over here so often. I mean, it's basically a part of our school. So. Yeah. I mean, it's not that bad. The floor's just a little bigger.
Yeah, it's good preparation.
Yeah.
Well, your first game back, Keaton, how's the knee?
It feels really good. You know, I was a little nervous, especially with the floor being so slick over there. So luckily we got to move it over here. But it felt pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, Taylor, you're the one wearing 21 wins, so that's
it's funny. It's good. I'm glad. I'm happy here. I'm glad that my senior year ended this way and we got to go on like this.
Well, it's not the end, you guys.
Yeah, not the end, but I'm just close.
End of the regular
season, yeah.
We talked to you last week, and you talked a little smack to Southern. You're gonna do that again?
I mean,
no, not really.
You just got to be confident in yourself and your team, and I am. So that's all I gotta say.
Well, of course you think you're
going
to win. Yeah. All right, well, congratulations, ladies.
Thank
We'll
you.
See you next week.
All right, and as you see Taylor talking about in the video there, it will be Model taking on Madison Southern Monday night in the first round of the district tournament. And Madison Southern prepped for the postseason with a pair of games last week on Wednesday, 39-30 win at Lexington Catholic. And then on Friday, they also played at McBrayer Arena, and they suffered a 57-54 double overtime loss to Scott County. In the win over Lexington Catholic, it was Morgan Flannery with 9 points, Bella Moberly with 8 points, and in the loss to Scott County, it was Hadley French, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and Morgan Flannery with 12 points. That game featured 14 lead changes and 10 ties and went back and forth, and that's the second time in the past 5 games that Madison Southern has gone to double overtime. And unfortunately for the Lady Eagles, they have lost both of those games. So, but it should be a great matchup, Model and Madison Southern Monday night. Those two teams have not played each other in 3 years, so it should be a very good matchup. And unfortunately, one of those two teams, one of them with 21 wins and one with 19 wins, one of them is going home in the first round of the postseason. All right, moving on to high school swimming. It was the KHSAA state championships up in Lexington this past weekend. The boys were on Friday, the girls were on Saturday. We'll focus on the girls to start off with, and it was Model senior Victoria Taylor wrapping up her outstanding high school career with another great performance at the state meet. The Texas A&M signee was 3rd in the 100 breaststroke and 6th in the 200 IM, which is also part of a pair of relay teams that had top 25 finishes. Taylor won 5 straight region titles in the breaststroke and in the top finished in the top 5 in the state in that event in each of the past 4 years, including 3rd twice. While she was making her last appearance in the high school state championships, Madison Central's Marley Cooksey was making her first, the 7th grader, 11th in the 200 free, 22nd in the 100 back. And she's also part of a couple of relay teams that did very well. Also, the 200 free for Madison Central finished 11th, while the 200 medley finished 12th. The 200 free team was Cooksey, Lily Kate Keaton, Lena Brown, and Emma McDowell. And the 200 medley team was Cooksey, McDowell, Brown, and Caden Estes, or Caden Eads. And also for the Madison Central, it was Lena Brown 17th in the 100 fly, 24th in the 200 IM, and models Olivia Stotts was 18th in the 100 free and 24th in the 100, 18th in the 50 free and 24th in the 100 free. On the boys' side of things, it was model senior Anthony Nasrallah, 17th in both the 200 free and the 100 free. Colin Jackson, also a model, was 18th in the 100 fly and 22nd in the 200 IM. And Madison Southern's Davis Pingleton was 18th in the 100 back and 30th in the 50 free. And models 200 free relay team finished 14th. On to high school wrestling. The state first round, as they call it, was held Saturday at Great Crossing High School in Georgetown. It's kind of confusing. We had the regions last weekend. The top 4 in each region advance on to what they call the state first round. And 2, I call them semi-states, basically two first round state sites, and the top 8 from each one of those advanced to next weekend's state championship round, which will be held at George Rogers Clark. So basically we had to get to the top 8 this week to go on to get to the state championships next weekend. Kind of confusing, but that's how it's been the last couple of years because of COVID. But all that being said, Madison County does have 9 wrestlers advancing to the state championships. From Madison Central, it was Carson Herbst at 120, Lucas Core at 126, Jonathan Gilbert at 138, Lucas Hutchinson at 144, Jeffrey Kinley at 165, Diego Peltier at 215. For Madison Southern, it was Rocky Whitehead at 215, Chris Begley at 144, and Stephen Whitehead at 285. Rocky Whitehead and Jonathan Gilbert placed second on Saturday up in Georgetown, and Jeffrey Kinley and Stephen Whitehead were third. Rocky Whitehead actually came into this event undefeated on the season, and he did suffer a loss in the final, but of course it doesn't matter. You get to move on to next week, and that's all that matters. Keep your state championship hopes alive, and that'll be Friday and Saturday at George Rogers Clark High School over in Winchester. Berea College news to report on. We got word Friday, kind of surprisingly, kind of out of nowhere, that Berea College was leaving the USA South Conference. It was them and 8 other schools are splitting off to form a newly formed conference called the Collegiate Conference of the South, which will begin play next season, 2022-2023. It'll have 9 teams: Agnes Scott, Belhaven University, Berea College, Covenant College, Huntington College, LaGrange College, Maryville, Piedmont, and Wesleyan as well. Most of those teams are already in the USA South. The USA South had gotten up to well over 20 teams, so it seemed like probably the natural decision to break it off into another conference of its own. So as we head into the postseason with USA South basketball tournament, this will be the last USA South basketball tournament that Berea College will be in. And the women will take on Brevard College on Tuesday night at the Seabury Center. That is the quarterfinals of the USA South conference tournament. They are 20-5 on the season. They had just 1 conference loss all year. They did play a non-conference game last Tuesday at home to kind of keep them in shape while they had a week off before the tournament started. And Asbury University came in and handed the Lady Mountaineers a 67-61 loss, their first home loss of the season. It was Leah Hampton with 18 points and Destiny Combs with 15 points. But once again, they'll be back in action Tuesday night at home against Brevard College in the quarterfinals of the USA South Conference Tournament. On the men's side, the Mountaineers did not qualify for the USA South Conference Tournament. They finished the year 16-7, 2-10 in the league. They wrapped up their final season in the USA South on Tuesday with a 90-50 loss at Maryville down in Tennessee, and it was Kavion Hudson with 14 points. So moving on to A-Sun men's basketball. EKU came into the week in 5th place in the Western Division of the Atlantic Sun Conference, and they wrapped up the week in that exact same spot, still in 5th place. Wednesday, an 80-76 win at home over North Alabama, but then they went out on the road Saturday, and we know how tough the road has been for the Colonels, and it was an 83-76 loss at Central Arkansas. We'll start off with the good news, and the good news was the win on Wednesday over North Alabama. EKU trailed by as many as 18 points, but they hit 25 of 31 free throws, and Michael Moreno had 24 points, including a putback at the buzzer off a miss by Jamaru Brown that forced overtime. And after the game, we got a chance to talk to Michael Moreno and Jamaru Brown.
Absolutely. I think the 2 things that let us there was taking care of the ball and then our pressure. We're known for our pressure defense. We had 17 steals, forced 25 turnovers. We only turned the ball over 7 times tonight, which is great. You can't argue with that.
For the people that earlier, we got down in the beginning of the first half. We seen a few people leave, but the people that stayed, they had the crowd rocking, and I really appreciate them for that. Our fans, our maroon up in tune is crazy. I really appreciate it, for real.
I mean, you guys have been down so many times, and you guys just keep showing you guys got no fight in you at all, and you never give up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, as Coach said today, you know, these are the two teams at the bottom of the A-Sun right now. You know, we both got our backs against the wall, but the thing that you can count on with us is that we're going to fight our way out of any hole, you know, as much as we can. You know, we're always going to go down swinging. That's what we preach. You know, we've had a lot of adversity this year with, you know, guys going down with COVID, guys getting hurt. So, you know, we're just trying to, you know, fight. That's all we know is fight.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, Jamal, you had a little more time than you thought there on that last shot, but luckily Michael was right there for you, huh?
Yeah, bro, I appreciate it. I know I wouldn't have heard the end of that in the locker room. So, but you know, I was just in a moment. I felt like I had somebody on my hip, and then I just shot it. But you know, I'm glad Michael came for the save. So I appreciate you.
He's the fastest guy we got. We want the ball in his hands right then and there to get down the court as quick as we can. You know, and let him make a decision. The same thing at JMU. Got all the way down the court in, you know, 4.5 seconds and drop it off to the Tay. But, you know, I was sprinting the floor to try to get over the top if he would have seen me. But, you know, luckily when he took the shot, I was already in position for being there. So.
Yeah, I mean, you just look up and there it was, and it kind of came right to you, didn't it?
Yeah, that's how I used to get all my love in high school, was just the offensive rebound. So positioning was huge for me, and I was in the right place at the right time. So. Yeah.
Well, it's a very, very gutsy win for the shorthanded Colonels, who were still without Braxton Beverly. Jansen Williams also is limited. Iron Bennett has been limited as well. Cooper Robb has a shoulder injury he's been dealing with. It's just been a real struggle for the Colonels all year long. But that was a huge win because that kept them out of last place. A loss to North Alabama would have dropped them down into a tie for the last spot in the East. But the top two teams in each division get a bye heading into the first round of the A-Sun playoffs. The 3 and 4 teams get to host a first-round playoff game. And Coach A.W. Hamilton, you could tell after the game that he knew what a huge win it was for him. So here's what he had to say after the win over North Alabama.
So we really proud of our guys. We executed down late in the game. That's a new play we got, Nathan. We got from Billy Hicks. We dribble it down at 30 feet, throw it off the backboard to Michael Marino. We executed that to perfection, and Mike put it in. But what a gutsy win by our guys. I mean, it was. You know, we get down 18, we had to go small ball, and we just chipped away. I thought we closed that first half really well and got ourselves in position, you know, to close the gap on them. And they're a tough team. They spread us out and they just try to drive you. They're a tough team, and you know, I'm proud of our guys. We forced 25 turnovers, get 17 steals, and we have 71 deflections. It was an effort game, and I'm proud of our guys how we responded.
Yeah, I mean, these guys just keep showing time and time again. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep fighting. I mean, you have small numbers. I think some guys are playing 40-plus minutes, but they just keep on keeping on.
They're not going to lay down. You know, it's you know, we got great leadership on our team. You think about Michael. You think about Cooper Robb. You think about Shad. Those guys want to win. You know, this team has been through everything they've been through. I've never, in 17 seasons coaching basketball, I've never seen a season happen like this with this amount of injuries and the medical scratches and, you know, and how even some of the injuries happen. You know, Braxton goes in for a layup, nobody's even around him, and he tears a ligament in his foot. Tay Blanton just jumps in the air for a rebound and gets turf toe. You know, I just never seen some of these things, but I'm really proud of this group and how they keep fighting.
Well, coming off that huge win, the Colonels had to go back out on the road again, and once again got off to a very, very slow start. Central Arkansas led by as many as 20 points 3 times. The Colonels did valiantly fight back to get within 3 points in the second half, but it just wasn't enough, and it was the 11th straight road loss for the Colonels. They have still not won an A-Sun game on the road this season, 0-7. It was Michael Moreno with 19 points and Devontae Blanton with 15 points. But the Colonels sit there in 5th place, and on Wednesday, a big trip down to first place Jacksonville State. So only 2 games left in the regular season. That matchup with Jacksonville, and then home this coming Saturday for Bellarmine. So the Colonels need to get a couple of wins to try to get up into that 3-4 spot to play host to a first-round game. Now, the EKU women we know will host a first-round game in the A-Sun tournament after the results of last week. On Thursday, they did have a loss at home to North Alabama, 74-65, but a really, really gutsy performance on Saturday down at Central Arkansas, 65-59 win in overtime, and that locked up either the number 3 or the number 4 spot for the Colonels in the Western Division of the A-Sun standings. We'll speak first about the loss to North Alabama, and when the Lions and the Colonels met about a month ago down in Alabama, North Alabama hit 13 three-pointers on the way to picking up a win over the Colonels, and they did it again on Thursday. They hit 13 more three-pointers. It was Ariel Kirkwood with 16 points for the Colonels and Aaliyah Green with 12 points. And after the game, we got a chance to talk to Greg Todd.
I thought North Alabama came out and wanted a little more than we did, but at the same time, when you're shot making, it makes shooting can cover a lot of sins, and they made 39 points for the game from shooting threes, and a lot of those in the first half, and we get 6 points from the three-point line. We ended up getting 12 more shots, 21 offensive rebounds, but just didn't finish enough. I thought we came out in the second half a little more aggressive, but we got them a little bit tired in the fourth quarter. They seemed to get their rhythm back shooting, and they've been playing well. North Alabama's a good team, but on our home floor, it's a game we wanted to win, needed to win, but didn't work for us tonight.
They hit 13 threes on you down there, and they hit 13 more again tonight. So
they do. Typically, they don't shoot the same level on the road as they do at home, but they certainly did tonight, and made it tough on us for sure.
Yeah, kind of puts the 2 seed in a little bit of that's a bit of a reach now, but obviously you still want to be in the 3-4, and there's a couple teams beneath you. You still have to play, so it's still some big games left.
Yeah, it's still a lot of basketball to be played. We'd love to be in the pool for that 3 spot. It's going to be a big game on Saturday against Central Arkansas. It's a long way down there tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have a good road performance on Saturday.
All right, then on Saturday, the Colonels were down by 10 points at halftime, but did battle back to pick up a win over Central Arkansas's, what they call they call them the Sugar Bears down there. It was Emma Hacker was the one leading the way. She'd been kind of a little bit under the weather all week, but came up with 21 points to lead the comeback. Liche Recanade with 10 points as well, and EKU goes to 13-14 on the season, 6-8 in the A-Sun. Like I said, they are locked into either the number 3 or number 4 spot going forward. They have the same schedule this week as the men, just a different day. For the Jacksonville State game, they'll be down in Jacksonville State on Thursday, and then back home Saturday for senior night against Bellarmine. So what an exciting week we have coming up. State wrestling, 44th District Tournament Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and we'll have EKU senior night against Bellarmine on Saturday. So lots of good stuff to report on. It's a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of good stuff to tell you about in there. It's another great week here in Madison County of really good things to tell you about. So it's my honor to sit here every week and tell you about that. And I once again appreciate everybody helping get those results to me, scorekeepers, coaches, and everybody else involved. So thank you all so very much. So we'll be back in just a minute. We'll have a nice long conversation with Madison Southern coach Josh Curtis and 3 of his players, Hadley French, Morgan Flannery, and Macie Daniels.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, welcome back. We are joined by Madison Southern head coach Josh Curtis and the Lady Eagles leading scorer, Hadley French. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
It's the most exciting week of the year, right? Heading into the district tournament. Of course, you guys are the district defending district champions, but man, this team certainly looks a lot different than the team that hoisted that trophy last year, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah, some different personnel. We've had to change up some things and how what we run. And then 4 or 5 games in, Reese goes down, so then we've got to try to reinvent the wheel again. So it's been a work in progress, but the last 2 or 3 weeks we've really been playing well offensively, so clicking at the right time.
Yeah, you lose obviously Samantha Cornelison and Lacey Parks graduate, and then unfortunately Reese Estep goes down with an injury. And those three girls scored about 800 points for you last year and about 350 rebounds. So huge chunk of who you are, but you guys still have 19 wins. You got a lot of talent. Some younger kids have stepped up, and it's still been a very successful season. And I'm sure obviously the goal is to repeat.
Yeah, it's been a good season for us. We've gone through a lot of different challenges. Played a lot of different styles and in Florida we played the 14th ranked player in the nation who's going to Florida State. So, you see someone like that, and then you run into some teams who are just the complete opposite of that. So we played against a lot of different teams, and hopefully that's prepared us for hopefully a run in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and of course you've had a lot of kids step up, and we're going to try to mention all those kids here in a minute. But I can't imagine there are too many teams in the state that have an 8th grader as their leading scorer, but that's what you are, Hadley. You obviously played quite a bit last year. You showed you weren't overwhelmed by that moment, even though you're still in middle school. And coming into the summer, I'm sure you knew you'd play even more this year. So kind of how did you prepare yourself to play a bigger role?
Well, my teammates have always told me that I can do it, and they've always got me the ball, and so I've always just felt comfortable on the court with them. So I just go.
Yeah, just playing in the postseason and everything last year, kind of what did that experience do to help you get prepared for this year?
It was a lot of pressure, but I was under a lot of pressure, but I got through it, and so now this year it should just be fine.
Yeah, and when you get you go through the summer with this group of kids, and then you have one of your best players go down the sixth game of the season. Kind of what was the mindset of the team, and how do you kind of reset after that happens?
I will say we were down, but we had to change a lot of our offenses. But a lot of kids have stepped up, and so we've finally got our groove back.
Yeah, Reese was so much a part of what you do offensively and defensively. Just all the way around. So kind of what was the from a strategic point of view as a coach, kind of what was the first thing you had to do there?
Yeah, you don't have there's not another Reese that you can just go put in. It's just going to require everyone to do a little bit more, which it took a little bit to get there. But we got everybody doing a lot more. And then just offensively, a lot of the season, the first few games, we ran a lot through our post. And then when she went down, we tweaked some things, and now we're doing a lot of things running them through our guards. And so we've found some success there. So it's been a work in progress, but I think we've got some good things going on right now.
Yeah, you were 4-1 when she suffered the injury. You guys lost that game and then went on to lose a few more after that. But you've had three-game winning streaks since then. I know we often joke on text. Some of the scores are kind of low-scoring battles, but you guys have found ways to win, and a lot of positive momentum heading toward the end of the season here.
Yes. And I always like to think of us as we're a defensive team for sure, who also plays offense. But yeah, defense is always going to be our calling card. We can guard at all 5 spots. Mo is arguably one of the best defenders in the region. So whenever you have someone like that, that always allows you to stay in the game. And then we've got kids behind her who just all know their role, and they do a really good job around the rim. And so that's really helped us out.
Okay. We'll talk a little bit about your point guard. You just mentioned Morgan Flannery. She's seems like she's been playing around here for forever. Kind of, what have you learned watching her, and just kind of how she plays and how she runs the offense?
She always, she's always under control, and she's always telling us that we can get through this, and she's just really smart ball player, and she gets us the ball and has us under control.
Yeah, I went back and looked at it. You only scored, I think, 61 points last year, but you already have 54 3-pointers this year. So you've really just jumped right in there, and you show no fear. You're an 8th grader, but you just seem like you've embraced all this and said, "Let's go."
Yeah, well, I couldn't have done it without my teammates, especially Morgan Flannery.
Okay, all right. Well, like I said, a lot of kids have stepped up, and we want to try to mention all of them here. Yeah. You got another 8th grader in Lacey Sandlin. You've got a 9th grader in Ashlyn Estep. The junior class, there's a lot of great kids there with Bella Mauberly, Jada Carter, and Tara Wooten, and especially Jada with the 24 rebounds earlier this year. I was there that night, and she's just tenacious in there.
She is. Everybody needs a Jada on their team. She works extremely hard.
Yeah, that's not really a big offensive threat for you guys, but I mean, she'll get in there and battle and rebounds, and she can score too. I don't want to sell her short and make her sound like she's not capable. But yeah, talk about the rest of that junior class there with Moberly and Wooten.
Yeah, you know, with Lacey graduating last year, you know, Tara kind of slid into that role. She's one of our. I mean, if you don't have a Mo on your team, Tara is probably our best defender, and she's a really good defender herself. So we always ask her to guard one of the best players on the team. It's taken her a little bit this year to get comfortable and just offensively just getting to the rim and looking for her teammates and doing different things like that. But things are starting to click for her as well. She had a pretty solid game last night for us against Scott County. So I think she's playing well at the right time. Bella, if you had to pick one, Bella's kind of the kid that we said, all right, Reese is out, now it's your turn. And that's a big thing to ask out of anybody, really. And we make sure to tell Bella, don't try to be Reese. Just go play to the best of your ability. And she's had some really strong games for us this year. And she's just constantly learning, and I think the game is starting to slow down in her mind. She's not starting to think as much, and just everything's starting to slow down, which in return is really helping her out. Yeah, and Macie's giving you about another senior giving you about 7 points a game as well, so she's been a big part of this as well, as you would expect. Yeah. No, Macie has played really well lately. I think Macie would agree she didn't play her best to start the season, but when we got back from Florida, she's been a completely different kid. And if you look, that's why our scores have went up after we got back from Florida, and we're getting into the 50s and sometimes 60s more because we needed another scorer to step up. And we always knew Macie could put the ball in the basket. She's a good shooter. She's great around the rim, but she's really had a lot of good scoring games for us the last month and a half or so. And that's when you've got one more option out there that you've got to account for. It just really makes it difficult to prepare for us. So she's really done a great job. Yeah. Talk about the trip to Florida. You ever been to Disney before?
Yeah. Actually, I've been once, but not playing basketball. So it was a different experience, but it was really fun. What was your favorite part of the non-basketball part of the trip? Probably going to the parks and then the hotel. We just messed around all night usually. Yeah. Well, it was you kind of mentioned it earlier, but it was just an odd trip, and the basketball part of it was kind of odd in the fact that you guys played a really, really horrible team in the first game, like 47-4 or something. We all saw that on Twitter and thought it was a misprint. Right. And you said you played a state championship caliber team in the second game with a kid, like you said, that was going to Florida State, and then the third game was a pretty evenly matched, two pretty evenly matched teams. So it was a very odd trip. It was. It felt like an AAU tournament. Just the setup of it. I mean, there was just a big ballroom with four floors going, and but yeah, I mean, we played every end of the spectrum. We played someone who. That first game, who just obviously was not the strongest at basketball, and then you play the other. You're being nice. And then you play the other team who's won state 3 or 4 years in a row and has one of the best players in the nation. And I think that was a good game for us because you lose that game, and that's going to be a tough one to win. But I think that opened the eyes up for our girls that this is one of the best teams in the nation and best teams in Florida, and you're playing with them and playing with the best players. So just that the different styles and just different levels of skill that we saw, I think that really helped us out because that was still just a couple of weeks after Reese had gone down. So I think the Berea tournament along with that Florida tournament is what allowed us to come back in January and February and have a successful second half of the season. Yeah, well, you guys will get Model in the first round on Monday night, and we were joking before we came on camera. Last time Southern played them, you were in the 5th grade. It was 3 years ago. You guys haven't played them in a long time. Of course, you maybe at middle school level you played them, but so kind of what's been the scouting report? Kind of what are you guys looking at? Well, Model's a great team. They are obviously one of their best seasons they've had yet in a while, and so we've just got to continue to prepare for them and just got to go out there and do our best. Yeah. That's all you can do. Yeah. Well, they've won a school record 21 games, but you guys are also trying to make history because you never won back-to-back district titles. So there you obviously have your own history there, but kind of give us a quick thumbnail kind of scouting report. Obviously, they have three really good seniors who kind of lead that team. Yeah. Sometimes with the way this district draws, sometimes you think you might have a good matchup based off your draw, but this year, really, any one of the 4 teams could win it. So it's not like, I'm glad we drew this team, or I wish we didn't draw this team. All 4 teams have a shot at it.
And talking about model and kind of what Hadley said, I mean, that is probably one of their best teams they've had in school history, at least in recent memory. And they've got a really good player in Keaton Hall, one of the best in the region. She's a great scorer, great rebounder, but she's a really good passer too. And they've got some really nice players around her that complement her. So, we're going to have our hands cut out, or our work cut out for us, because, they're going to show up on Monday, and we're going to be their Super Bowl, and they are going to give us everything they've got. So, it's going to be a really good test for us to see mentally where are we at. Can we match their intensity, match their energy level, because they're going to be ready to play and move on. So it'll be a tough one.
Yeah, folks, if you get a chance, come on out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. The 3 girls games could be 3 of the best girls games you'll ever see. How about this? Berea with 23 wins, you guys 19 wins. Model with 21 wins, and Central's come on pretty good here recently.
Oh, yeah.
So 74 wins between those 4 teams, and I think all 3 of those games could be battles. And really, your guys' first round game, that may be the best first round district game in the state anywhere on Monday night. So that's a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, could be.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys coming in. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in just a minute with seniors Morgan Flannery and Macie Daniels.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net. Digital media solutions on your terms.
All right, welcome back. We are joined by Madison Southern seniors Morgan Flannery and Macie Daniels. Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Well, you guys have a chance to make some history this week. Madison Southern girls basketball team has won back-to-back district championships, and you guys have the opportunity to do that. Of course, it's not going to be easy, so just kind of your thoughts heading into the district tournament.
Well, I don't think any team in our district can be overlooked. Everyone's going to put up a good fight because we're all pretty evenly matched. So we have to go into every game thinking it could be your last and just give it your all.
Yeah, I think Morgan's right. I think all 4 teams could win this thing, and it's just going to depend on, you have 2 games and which team plays the best in those 2 games for each night.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We have to give it our best try every night and not look over any team or any opponent, and we just have to give it our best shot.
Okay, you guys haven't played Model in 3 years. That's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah.
But haven't had a regular season game with them or even met up with them in the postseason. I'm sure you've seen them in person. Kind of give us kind of an idea of what you guys are looking at. Without getting too specific, we don't want to give any game plan away, but kind of what you guys are looking at.
Well, they're definitely a solid team, and like you mentioned previously, they have a lot of good seniors. Keaton Hall is a very good player. She can play from defense and offense. She's just very strong, so we're going to have to watch her. So they're just a very solid team all the way around.
Yeah, what have you guys seen on film and everything?
Taylor LeCompte is a really good rebounder. She's strong. She's really good around the basket. Kenzie Ferguson can shoot, so can Keaton Hall. So they have really good seniors. They have a good team, and we've just got to play our best defense and turn our offense on that game for sure.
Yeah, you guys won this thing last year, but like I said with Coach earlier, it's a much different team. You lose your top 3 scorers from last year. A lot of different people have had to step up, and I'm sure coming into the summer you had a game plan, moving forward without Samantha and Lacey, and then obviously Reese goes down. So kind of how did the offense and everything change? With you being the point guard, how did the offense and everything change after Reese went down?
Well, the offense had to change because, like you said, we lost our 3 main scorers. So everybody else had to step in and do a little bit more. Like I know personally, I had to drive and shoot more shots than I normally had to because I had to step up and be a scorer for our team. And Hadley came in and had to score a lot. Macie had to score a lot. Tara, pretty much everyone from every position just had to put points on the board to make up for the loss that we had.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've seen this around the county with some other teams also have kids go down. But, just emotionally for you guys, and of course, you're pretty tight with Reach, played volleyball with her. Just kind of what does that emotionally just kind of impact everybody when somebody like that goes out?
It's devastating. It's scary to see that happen, not once but twice. Not just on the court. It's not a loss on the court. Like, we all hurt for her. Like, it's such a long and hard process to get through that. Not once but twice. We miss her on the court, but we're just trying to move on and do better, but we can't replace her, so that's also hard. But she's obviously a big loss, but we're just trying to get better every day without her.
Yeah, she's always there. She's on the bench.
Right, yeah, she's always there. And we're happy she did the extra year, so she's not done yet.
Yeah. And you played volleyball with her, and I wanted to talk to you about volleyball. I mean, I think both of you were kind of new to the sport a couple of years ago. I kind of picked it up. I'm sure Coach Grant was very happy that you guys did. You guys won a district championship there as well. So I don't think you really had much of a background in the sport, did you?
No, I started my freshman year, and it was just something I loved to do in the off season, and it kept me in shape, and it was fun. We both really enjoyed it, but we ended up being pretty successful out of it, so it was a good time.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Hadley. I mean, talk a little bit more about her. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe she's an 8th grader.
Yeah. It's crazy. Sometimes you have to put it in perspective because she just steps up so much and she does so much for our team. And we put her in like pressure situations. She just handles it and she follows through. So she's a great player and she's a great teammate. Yeah, well, this is obviously your last year, but we were talking earlier about that junior class. So talk about some of those juniors. Our juniors have really stepped up this year. Tara is a great defensive player and she scores. She's one of our best drivers. So our offense really flows through her a lot. And Bella, she's done a great job defensively. As Coach said, she's had to step up a lot since Reese. So she's had to really put forth a lot of effort on the defensive end and the offensive end, and I think they've all just played good. And Jada, obviously, she's one of our main defensive players, so she's really stepped up and grabbed a lot of good rebounds for us. And she's a good player.
Yeah, and it's amazing you have another 8th grader out there, too.
Yeah.
Lacey Sandlin.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, we talked a little bit earlier with Hadley there about the trip to Florida, but I want to hear your guys' experiences. So, what was your favorite? I know you guys had to raise a ton of money to do this, and it's kind of a once in a lifetime type of thing.
Yes.
So, tell us, both of you, give me kind of your favorite experiences from the Disney trip.
Well, I had never been to Disney or anything like that, so I really enjoyed Universal and just getting to experience that. Not only like alone, but I had my team there, and so that was really cool, and I'll never forget something like that. And we got to play basketball and have fun at like the parks and stuff, so I had a blast.
Yeah, it was kind of the best of both worlds. You get to play basketball, and then you get to go to the parks and spend time with your friends, like your teammates, so it was a great experience. Yeah,
what was that? It had to be tough fundraising, though.
Yeah.
What did you guys do to raise that money?
We did our dishwasher fundraiser. Like the detergent, sorry.
Okay. We've also been working the Little Eagles clinic, or like the games for like a long time, and it helps raise a lot of money. So, and it's something we like to do. We get to watch little kids play basketball and stuff, so it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where you get, probably once, just one chance of doing something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Was there a certain part of the park you enjoyed or anything?
I really just liked all of it. The rides were really good, so
okay.
It was fun.
Are you a ride person, like roller coasters and stuff?
Yeah.
Thrill seeker, you like that stuff too?
Yeah, I like that stuff too.
All right, well, Monday night, Madison Southern and Model. That's the opening round game, 6:30. The boys' game will follow that about 8:15, probably more like 8:30. And then on Tuesday night, it'll be Madison Central and Berea, same thing, 6:30 and 8:15. And the championship games are on Thursday this year. A lot of times they've been on Friday this year. It is on Thursday. So same thing, girls at 6:30, boys about 8:15. So best of luck to you guys. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And we look forward to it. I think it's going to be a great, great tournament. I encourage everybody to come out. I know the games are streamed live on Facebook and stuff. But come on out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think these 3 girls games could be the 3 of the best girls games in the state. So, and it could go really. I think any of the 4 teams could win. So, but that's how evenly matched it is. So, best of luck to y'all. Appreciate you coming in. And that'll wrap up this week's edition of the Richmond Register Sports Show. Of course, we'll be over at McBrea Arena all week, and so we're giving you updates on Richmond R Sports on Twitter and Register Sports on Facebook. So, hope you have a great week. See you next time.
The Richmond Register Sports Show is brought to you by Metronet, superfast internet, simply a better connection. Central Kentucky Pressure Washing, Total Comfort, heating and air conditioning. Let Total Comfort keep you cool or warm this winter. Call for service or for a free replacement quote. And by kymedia.net, digital media solutions on your terms. Thanks for watching the Richmond Register Sports Show. For more information about all things sports in Madison County, log on to richmondregister.com or on Twitter. And like us, Register Sports on Facebook. Get the Richmond Register directly to your mailbox or get the app online and visit richmondregister.com.